Have you ever wondered why the tires of one of the world's most advanced fighter jets aren't filled with ordinary air? After all, a tire is just a tire, right? Whether it's on a family car, a commercial truck, or a fifth-generation stealth fighter, its job is simply to support the vehicle. But when it comes to the F-22 Raptor, things aren't that simple. The aircraft can fly at over Mach 2, pull extreme G-forces, and land at speeds that would be terrifying in almost any other vehicle. Every component of the jet is engineered to survive conditions that push the limits of physics. And that includes its tires. Instead of using ordinary compressed air, the United States Air Force fills the F-22's tires with dry nitrogen gas. At first glance, this might sound like a small detail, but in reality, it solves several serious problems that could affect safety, maintenance, and even combat readiness. To understand why, we first need to look at what ordinary air actually contains. The air around us is made up of roughly 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and small amounts of other gases. More importantly, compressed air often contains moisture in the form of water vapor. That moisture may not matter much for a car driving down the highway, but for a fighter jet, it can become a significant problem. When an F-22 lands, enormous forces are transferred into the landing gear and wheels. The aircraft may weigh more than 60,000 pounds during landing. The tires and brakes absorb tremendous energy in a matter of seconds. As the brakes heat up, temperatures inside the wheel assembly can rise dramatically. This is where nitrogen begins to show its advantages. Unlike ordinary compressed air, dry nitrogen contains virtually no moisture. Without water vapor inside the tire, pressure changes become much more predictable as temperatures increase and decrease. That stability is extremely important because even small pressure variations can affect aircraft handling, tire wear, and landing performance. Imagine an F-22 taking off from Alaska in freezing temperatures and later operating in a much warmer environment. The tires will experience major temperature fluctuations throughout the mission. Dry nitrogen helps ensure that tire pressure remains as stable as possible, reducing unexpected performance changes. But pressure stability is only part of the story. The second advantage is corrosion prevention. Water vapor trapped inside a tire can eventually lead to oxidation and corrosion of wheel components. Military aircraft often remain in service for decades and operate in harsh environments around the world. Reducing internal moisture helps protect expensive wheel assemblies and lowers long-term maintenance requirements. For the Air Force, extending component life by even a small percentage can save millions of dollars across an entire fleet. However, the most important reason may be safety. Remember that ordinary air contains oxygen. Oxygen supports combustion. Nitrogen does not. Under normal circumstances, this distinction may seem unimportant. But fighter aircraft do not always experience normal circumstances. During a hard landing, a rejected takeoff, or an emergency braking event, temperatures can become extremely high. In extreme cases, tire failures can occur. If a tire contains oxygen-rich air and encounters a source of ignition under severe conditions, the risk of fire is increased. By replacing that oxygen with nitrogen, the Air Force reduces the possibility of combustion inside the tire. Nitrogen is considered an inert gas, meaning it does not readily react with other materials. This makes it much safer in high-temperature aviation environments. Another lesser-known benefit is reduced leakage. Nitrogen molecules move through rubber slightly more slowly than oxygen molecules. As a result, tires filled with nitrogen tend to retain their pressure longer. For a civilian driver, this might mean fewer trips to the air pump. For the military, it means improved reliability and reduced maintenance workload. When you operate a fleet of advanced aircraft around the world, every maintenance hour matters. Even small improvements can translate into substantial operational benefits. What's particularly interesting is that the F-22 is not unique in this regard. Most modern military aircraft use nitrogen-filled tires. Commercial airliners also commonly rely on nitrogen for exactly the same reasons. Whether it's a Boeing 787 carrying hundreds of passengers across the Atlantic or an F-22 preparing for a combat mission, engineers have reached the same conclusion. Nitrogen simply performs better under demanding aviation conditions. The use of nitrogen also extends beyond tires. Many military aircraft use nitrogens in other onboard systems as well. Engineers value it because it is dry, stable, non-flammable, and predictable. These characteristics make it useful anywhere reliability and safety are critical. And that's really the key lesson here. The F-22 Raptor is often admired for its stealth design, supercruise capability, and advanced radar systems. But the aircraft's effectiveness doesn't come only from revolutionary technologies. It also comes from hundreds of smaller engineering decisions that most people never notice. The choice to fill its tires with dry nitrogen is one of those decisions. It's not glamorous, it's not classified, and it won't make headlines. Yet it improves safety, reduces maintenance, prevents corrosion, stabilizes tire pressure, and lowers fire risk. In military aviation, success often comes from getting the small details right. And sometimes, one of those details is something as simple as the gas inside a tire. The next time you see an F-22 Raptor roaring down a runway, remember that even its tires are engineered for performance. Because when you're flying one of the most advanced fighter jets ever built, ordinary air simply isn't good enough.